Probably the first thing that attracted me was Oracle is focusing on engaging more closely and understanding better the modern development environment, and there's no better place to come than a beautiful sunny location, which is one, but moreover with a core of different developers with different backgrounds to interact with, to listen to, and to hear where they're going so that we can adapt our tools and technologies to fit better with what they want. Apiary actually allows you to use Swagger as a choice of defining your APIs that way. There are a couple of options. Start that again. There are a couple of options with Apiary. One is to define your APIs using Swagger as a format. The other one is to use a variety of other approaches like RAML in order to be able to define the mock objects or the mock APIs that you want. How does it compare directly with Swagger? Well, Swagger is very much the markup language itself. Apiary delivers a set of supporting design tools, documentation, integration back into a GitHub backend or Bitbucket backend, and now with the integration into Oracle, also that integration back out into the API management platform as well. So overall, it differs from a lot of the typical markup languages alone, or the approaches alone, both from open source, but also from third-party vendors as well, in that it, combined with the API platform, delivers a complete solution from thought and design right the way through to implementation and protection. Well, Oracle's cloud has come along into a competitive space that's well established. AWS and the platform services that AWS offers, of course Azure should not also be forgotten, but also Google Cloud as well as a platform service provider. Oracle's platform for cloud is slightly different in that we are pretty unique in the way in which we're able to cover the entire aspects of cloud, not just from an infrastructure as a service perspective, also at the platform level as well, but moreover from the software as a service level too. So we believe that we're pretty unique in that space, primarily because we offer a solution for our customers that cover all of those options, as opposed to some of the existing incumbents in the cloud space who offer perhaps one or two of those components alone. There are always up and coming features, as I'm sure you probably hear from most vendors, but perhaps one of the biggest differences with cloud from Oracle is the period of delivery. The talk today talked about shortening from months and years to days and weeks or potentially hours for repeated delivery, and this is something that we've adopted within Oracle. So there's always something new on the horizon, which is a great place to be. It keeps me talking about the new things that are coming up. Some of those that we've already introduced but we're continuing to evolve. At the infrastructure level, bare metal services, a unique public cloud offering from Oracle that allows customers to take physical bare metal and provision that such that they can install anything that they want on it, operating system choice, virtualization and hypervisor choice. But the way in which it's being built enables a differentiated level of performance from that hardware because of the ways in which, coming slightly late into the market, we've learnt from the likes of AWS and likewise from Azure. But other things that are coming up, the thing that we saw today, the bots, the intelligent bots cloud service, that is planned to come in during this calendar year, so before the end of this year. The API platform was very, very recently released as a whole with Apiary as well. And of course, in the app dev space, some of the interesting announcements around open world that are mooted right now, that really are quite an exciting prospect, is the likes of features such as functions or serverless computing, and how we can introduce that effectively into the cloud. Because we see other vendors have that today, AWS Lambda, Azure and their functions. But we feel that there are pieces missing and that we can add a great deal more. So keep an eye out at OpenWorld for those announcements around serverless. We do focus on Docker because it is quite it is a very popular mechanism for quickly picking up and transporting portable applications or pieces of applications. We've chosen to focus on that because of the growth in the application development market, but it doesn't just stop there. We do already support the Windows platform on our public cloud as well. So it's not just a case of here is Oracle Linux on our cloud. There are also spins of CentOS and a number of freely available operating systems there. But we also enable customers to choose to use Windows and other platforms as well. So the choice is pretty wide. When it comes to deployment back out onto, for example, on-premise, which is what we have seen initially with our customers who build today on-premise and maybe target an Apple-based platform or a Windows-based platform, then the tools that we pick to bring together out of open source and third party are designed not just to deliver into the public cloud and into a predefined environment, but also out onto those platforms as well. So it's possible, and there are a number of customers using it, the developer cloud service or parts of it, to be able to manage and master a build and deploy back onto on-premise as well. And at that point, you choose your platform. Personal preferences or hate, wow. So language-wise, I come from a Java background, and prior to that, very much the Visual C, and previous to that, Spark Ada. If some of you may remember Spark Ada, but you probably have to be my age to remember it. My personal loves of language, I'm not a great coder personally, but the languages that I tend to use are the simple ones. Java, because I've used it for many years, and also because there's a compiler to help point out where I make a mistake. PHP and Python are my the personal platforms that I like to use because they're relatively simple, script-based, and easy to manage. But as far as the growth of language is concerned, the likes of introducing Scala and R and a variety of languages, it's really hard to tell what will live, what will pass on. But either way, the growth of those numbers of languages and the choice is really fantastically exciting because it offers an opportunity for people to really collaborate with fit-for-purpose languages to achieve a particular task. And our thoughts around that is how do we give a platform where all of those things can be run, or at least the choice can be made in perhaps a controlled manner, but in a much more freely controlled manner. I think it's a fantastic event. It's a unique location, I think. The guys or the developers who are here have a really wide range of experience, a wide range of interest, as we heard during the beginning of the talk when I asked about the range of languages being used. It's quite eye-opening to see the range of different languages being used and the range of different approaches, and I find it fantastically valuable, partly from the perspective of hearing what the developer community is doing and seeing more what is important to them, because part of our choice to come to Jay on the Beach, apart from the weather, obviously, is the ability to come and listen rather more than talking, and I think that's really key. As far as the enjoyment, clearly the weather is beautiful, so enjoyment has been fantastic. But I think as far as practicality goes, the thing that really is fantastic is the feeling and the sense of community within the development organization, or the organization here, in terms of all of the developers together, their interests, their thoughts, and hearing what it is that they have to say. It's been a brilliant event.